share something that I wrote a little while ago? Yeah. Maybe I have to come back and like give you some like newness in my
No, don't share anything you wrote more than
life.
4 hours ago.
Let me see here. Have you read my love letter? Now we're talking about like breakthroughs or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
That's something I always like to share when it's kind of like.
When somebody puts you on the spot.
I think like in realms of people needing to hear something that's vulnerable and it can get to them through something. I like to share it like this because it's a love letter to myself.
Okay.
And I think I know something. There's power behind it because that was my first love letter I've ever written before.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think it's something. It's good to think about. I wrote it. This was a time. This was just after I was about to go in my first semester at CSUN, and I was in that legal trouble at the time, and I like my best friend and I were going against. I lost my ground. What grounded me was my best friend and my brother because he was in jail on the East Coast, and like just I was. This took about 4 months to write because there was a lot of reflection, and like it just took a lot out of me. So yeah, let me share this.
So that's how involved some of these pieces are.
Oh yeah, man. Like I think this took me about 3 to 4 months to write because I was like, there's a lot of times I would stop, I was crying my eyes out, so yeah, that's how involved somewhere. Sometimes I'll write, like I said, like 2 lines and then won't write for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to really process. So it just kind of goes down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can share this for you. Okay, it goes July 2nd, 2015. Dear Drew, I'm writing you this letter, a letter to express something of importance that we've never discussed, a discussion never taken place because I've never truly been able to say how I felt. I've spoken it before in hopes to speak it into existence, lied enough to others in an attempt to make it so, but the words I spoke were never pure. Pure from a heart, from a place in peace. In fact, not because I lacked the expression, but the love I had for you, Drew. For so many years, you carried shame and embarrassment as to what you did, as to what war did to you, questioning whether you were lesser of a man, a Marine, a warrior than that of your peers. You thought of your brothers frantically digging through rubble in search of Marines, only to find body parts. Those aiding the wounded, and most of all, the gruesome task of placing their friends, brothers, in body bags. Returning home, brotherhood faded into isolation and dark thoughts. Writing became a lifeline. However, writing wasn't the hardest part. Sharing one day liberated you in many ways, however, was only the beginning. Heartfelt praise by you and your peers was overwhelming and humbling. You looked upon yourself as a Marine trying to simply cope with combat. Not an inspiration, not a voice, not even as an artist, but you were. To many. As you went on speaking, performing, within minutes, unfamiliar faces became brothers and sisters. A relationship bonded through words, born from pain. Ugly blossomed into beauty. You and many like you became a rose that grew from concrete. See, love never came easy for you, Drew. Vulnerability calls for courage. A letter to God solidified you from stepping out of the darkness to the light. In many ways, a beginning of a new chapter. A chapter free of rage and hate. The day of the suicide bombing, a part of your soul was lost. You proclaimed your hate to God, life, and your very existence. Your self-hatred and rage towards everything only deepened over the years, and survivor's guilt would take a drastic toll. However, also proved to be your savior. A permanent solution to a temporary pain. Taking your own life plagued your mind more times than you can count. From the first night after the IED attacks, awakened the Taliban fighters choking you. Followed you home, haunted by your own consciousness, refused to be in a dark room. Sleepless nights, more so days deafened by a mourning mother's cries, sounds that would induce tears and panic attacks while sitting in classes. You shed tears, more than one man should, but perhaps those tears weren't yours alone, but that of your brothers. You carried a heavy heart. The same trigger of a woman crying would bring a dear friend into your life, a life revived by purpose. Powerful lessons learned from amazing people in your life, family to friends and friends who became family. Maintaining relationships has been a battle. Playing a large role in your sister's lives, more supportive son, grandson has always been a role you'd like to improve. Women you've dated and still hold unconditional love for. The ones you deeply care about. You like to gift the world to them. You like your pockets to be as large as your heart, but it's not, and that's okay. When it was your time to provide, you did the best possibly way you could. You learned so much. The ability to share, more so, open your heart. Opening your heart is a world of wealth. In order to give, you must first possess. Take your time. Breathe. You feel as if you're behind in life. My friend, success is measured in experiences, love, gratitude, and legacy left behind. Life has been a journey, lessons learned. It only began for you once it nearly came to an end by your own hands, not at war. Dark years are becoming clear. Pain provided possibility. Words gave you hope. Speaking hope into others granted you peace. Peace lost so many years ago. Continue on the path. Help those lost along the road. Stay true. Remember purpose. And most of all, if you're going through hell, keep going. True.
It's phenomenal.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. So that was yeah, man. That was definitely hard to write. It was definitely a lot of reflection and just yeah, I like to share that, man, just because
Yeah.
it's a love letter into yourself.
Yeah, I can see how when you say, you know, come watch me speak.
Yeah.
Then you'll get to know me a little. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
there's a lot in there.
You know, outside of the war.
Yeah,
There's a lot of,
definitely. Yeah, definitely, man. Because I think war. There's reasons for how we take certain things we see or experience. You know, and just like, even relating to like my romantic life.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, even trying to be a better son,
you know,
and a better grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of depth,
Yeah.
a lot of layers, and a lot of, it just shows. It shows that the turmoil you've gone through. That I wish that this wasn't radio and it was, and somebody could see.
Yeah.
Just like the person on the other side of this microphone.